co-founder and CEO of Onalytics. We are building smart logistics management solutions for industrial returnable packaging. The types of returnable packaging we are targeting ranges from beverage kegs, storage and handling containers to gas cylinders. They all use complex distribution chains and suffer from logistics inefficiencies that leads to the spoilage or the loss of goods and even the packaging itself. The opportunity to increase the logistic efficiencies in these industries is huge. Our vision is that the returnable containers of the future are connected and smart. And by using state-of-the-art technologies, we can turn packaging data into logistic wisdom. I would like you to introduce you to our team. We are a team of 4 experienced founders that complement each other and cover the main areas of the company, from sales and marketing to software and hardware development. Previously to Onalytics, we worked together for 3 years in another IoT project where we had the opportunity to work in several logistic projects, in particular in the beer industry. Based on our previous experience, we decided to start with the opportunity on the beer kegs that suffer from huge losses. Every beer keg uses 2 different logistic processes. The sales logistics that takes the keg from the brewery to the retailers, like bars and restaurants, going through distribution centers and wholesalers. And when the keg gets empty, it needs to get back to the breweries using the reverse logistics. Along these processes, up to 10% of the beer kegs get lost or are spoiled. The result is 2.4 billion euros of losses per year. However, these losses do not account only for the kegs that get lost. They also count with the parallel markets, with counterfeiting of the beer, theft and secondary wholesale, poor beer quality control that leads to the spoilage of the beer, and an inefficient stock management and the logistic processes. This is not a new problem, and we have many competitors in the market. However, their solutions are all based on passive technologies like QR codes. The solutions only work on designated locations where they have additional equipment installed or manual staff performing manual readings of the kegs that get in or get out of those locations, and they do not include any storage conditions monitoring or the shelf life control to avoid the beer spoilage. We use active technologies that are able to solve all these problems at once. With the usage of active technologies, we are able to deliver a smart keg management solution that's fully integrated and delivered to our customers as a service that includes a sensor that is attached to the beer kegs, reports location information and monitors the storage conditions. We use IoT connectivity based on low power technologies, already part of the 5G framework that highly increases the efficiency of the communications and the power consumption of the remote sensors with the cloud applications. And then we have a cloud application where all the data, the sensor data is processed and we deliver the business insights to our customers. Our benefits in numbers based on our modules and the customer feedback we have is the ability to reduce the operational efficiencies by 76%, to reduce the needed keg fleet to sell the same amount of beer by 28%, and to increase the gross margin by 4%. Our return on investment is above 100%, which means that for every euro our clients invest in our solution, they get 2.2 euros back. Our main differentiator is the integration between our sensor and the cloud application. So the sensor monitors the keg environment, sends the information to the cloud processes that data and applies artificial intelligence techniques. It results on the detection of all the logistic movements and the logistics venues of our clients that sometimes are not done all known to them, and the update on the business KPIs. We also deliver predictive analytics both for the sales and the logistic processes and the detection of outliers with connections or logistic movements between logistic venues that sound like secondary wholesale. This information is then sent to every one of the sensors that are then able to adapt their behavior and the configuration according to the situation where they are in. Our clients access to this information and the business KPIs on our cloud application. The cloud application is able to map automatically all the distribution chain venues without the need for any manual interventions or provisioning of those sites. We are able to deliver predictive analytics on the sales and the distribution, predicting the next movements that the kegs should do and enabling a better stock management. And of course, we deliver real-time inventory, including the kegs that are full and empty based on the logistics cycles we detect they are in. Our sensor is also using state-of-the-art technology. For instance, the edge computing capabilities enables the sensor to adapt its behavior to the situation where it is in, learning from the knowledge that it was gathered by the cloud. It uses an IP67 enclosure that enables him to sustain to all the extreme conditions that it will be used both on the logistics cycles and on the breweries at the industrial level. The batteries are able to last for at least 4 years without the need for any intervention on maintenance. Our target customers range from the industrial breweries that manage huge keg fleets and are looking to increase the logistics efficiencies, to craft breweries that are a fast-growing business in more major markets like the USA and are focused on the beer quality and the brand reputation. But we are also targeting the global brewing groups where the centralized innovation areas are searching for solutions that enables them to be applied in all the group level. Keg leasing companies are also one of our targets. They are looking to increase the value they can add to their clients and to also better manage the keg fleets that they have. Our business model was designed to be both competitive and to lower the barriers for the adoption from our customers. It is delivered on a SaaS subscription that includes the sensor, the connectivity, and the platform. And we have 2 levels of pricing, for clients with less than 10,000 beer kegs and for clients above the 10,000 beer kegs. On the first year, a setup fee applies to cover for the sensor costs, and the annual subscription fee includes the connectivity, the access to the cloud platform, and the maintenance during the duration of the contract. We just closed or just finished our first year of activity. On the second half of 2020, we were selected and were honored to be part of the acceleration program with Indico and Google, where we were able to drastically reduce the cost for the production of our sensor to less than 1/3. We developed our main features that enabled us to launch our minimum viable product, including market feedback from the main brewing groups. We are seeking to raise additional capital to enable us to scale the production of our sensor and continue to lower our production costs and expand our customer base both in Europe and in the US. For the second half of this year, we are aiming to do integration with our customer systems like SAP and to continue the development of our artificial intelligence-based predictions both for the sales and distribution channels. Join us in the Internet of Beer. Let's keep the kegs rolling and the beer flowing. Thank you.
Thank you, Onalytics. Let's now welcome Johan Becker from partner at eVentures and Eddie Farhat, co-founder of Dubai Angel Investors. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Zhao, for the great presentation. And I think it's a very special market, and I always like it when founders have background in that specific market. And my question would be, we've seen a couple asset tracking companies with IoT technology, ranging from containers to animals to other logistic items. So, I mean, is it really necessary to have a company specialized on beer kegs, or would a normal IoT tracking solution also do the job? And how big of a market is it really to just go after beer kegs?
Well, thank you for your questions. I fully understand the problem you are raising, but honestly, we believe that the customization of the solution, that's what makes the difference. I mean, a normal GPS tracker will not solve the problem. If you think about the beer kegs, for instance, or even the gas cylinders, they will be most of the time in indoor places. I mean, GPSs will simply don't work on those places. They will drain the batteries, and you will not get the location of those assets. On the other side, there are more problems than just having the location of those assets. I mean, an industrial brewing company owns hundreds of thousands of kegs. They cannot be managing each one of the kegs individually or doing the track and trace of those kegs specifically. What they are looking for is for something that helps them understand which are the locations where those kegs are, and do the analytics on top of those locations that most of times, and specifically on the beer business, they are not known for them from the beginning. I mean, They do not sell the beer to each one of the retailers where the beer is being sold, like the bars and the restaurants. They have distribution centers in the middle, wholesalers and so on. And those places are not even known for them. So it's by applying analytics specifically on the places that we'll be able to help them. We don't believe, and we have that experience previously, a simple asset tracker will just give him some location about the devices or the assets, but it will not solve the problem nor bring any value for the business. In terms of the market dimension, just looking for the beer cakes, our total addressable market would be around 2 billion euros. But as we explained, we are just starting with the beer cakes. We aim to go after additional returnable packagings like gas cylinders that are used in many industries, or even the containers, not the shipping containers, but all the other containers that are used in the market that suffer from similar problems on these complex distribution networks.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
So, thank you, Joao. Going back to the value chain you showed earlier, I think from brewery down to retailer, obviously from a logistics optimization standpoint, kind of the case is self-explanatory. However, as you move ownership from brewery to distributor to retailer to consumer, kind of also data ownership changes. And how does the distributor feel about potential disintermediation if you have that data as a brewery in terms of changing kind of the market dynamic and what you just said about, retail. So how does adoption go across the value chain? And who actually reaps the optimization that you're making in terms of efficiency? Because ultimately, I don't know the industry very well, but if a keg is lost, isn't there kind of a clause that says you pay back the kegs you lost? So who's actually capturing value? And as data crosses boundaries, in this case, what's the risk of disintermediation?
It's a great question. Well, in the first place, the kegs are owned by the breweries normally, unless they are using the keg leasing companies that are also one of our targets, but it's the breweries that own the kegs. And the value, the principal value we will be bringing is to the brewery itself. But anyway, we believe that we will bring value to the full distribution chain. And although there is a cost if they don't return the keg to the brewery, that cost doesn't cover for the full cost of the keg, and neither the beer, because there is an additional problem to deal with the spoilage that happens because of the wrong storage conditions that goes through when the keg is flowing through all the distribution chain. But we believe that we will bring value to all of these partners that are used on the distribution chain. So we are starting with the brewery. That's where the main value is, and they are the owners of the kegs. But all the remaining parts in the distribution chain will get some value also from having a better efficiency, knowing where the kegs are, which ones are full, which ones are empty, where they can go and pick up the kegs and return them. So we believe that there will be value for all the partners in the distribution chain.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, so maybe one question. I think it's going to be crucial to tell the breweries that there's a clear ROI. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit. How long does it take to get a return on investment? Once I implement your solution, and also how long does it take for you to get ROI on the sensors and the subscription?
Yeah, today the average time that the keg takes from doing the full rotation, it's 2.5 months. It's too much time. It stays too many times stopped along the distribution chain. If we are able to increase this rotation rate, we are able to decrease the amount of kegs they need to sell the same amount of beer. And just by that, they will reduce the investments they have to do on the kegs, all the maintenance costs, the storage costs, all of that will immediately reduce also. So just by getting the location, the exact location, and where they have lots of kegs that are stopped or are just forgotten. If you think about the restaurants of the bars that are just open in the summer, they close in September and open again in May or in June. Most of them will get the kegs there stopped for the whole summer, for the whole winter, and just be returned to the supply chain again when the summer comes back. We are able to help them go and pick up all those kegs that are in these lost locations and make it rotate faster, and by then we decrease the amount of beer kegs that they need to supply the demand they have.
Thank you so much, Onalytics.
Thank
and
you.
Our investors, Johan and Eddie, for being with us today. Looking forward to see you soon, and let's welcome our next startup, Beyard.